So hi, this is Colin from Amen Ra and you're watching Loud TV. It's the first time I'm doing one abroad. Normally we always do one in Brussels in Belgium, and then a lot of people come, and the rest is mostly by Skype or by email or by phone and stuff like that. But I kind of like it to see the people behind the microphones, and it's way more personal, and I believe that the message comes across way more right, you know, that people understand it more and people have like a better judgment of what I am trying to say. Like in Belgium, it's like a totally different thing than in the rest of Europe, and in the rest of Europe we're still kind of under the cover of the metal world. We're still like only a metal band, but in Belgium it kind of opened up. It's a lot broader now, and we have like one foot in mainstream and one foot in the metal world, and it makes it interesting. So a lot of bigger and broader media is interested, and that's nice for us. For us, it always has been hard, but it's getting harder and harder. Probably the more albums we have, the more difficult it is to reinvent yourself without losing yourself, or without straying too much of the path you once decided to walk on, you know. So it has been hard, but we were lucky that we had one new member in the band who it was his first time to help write an album, so he was still very eager to put his stamp on the writing process, and he really helped out a lot. There was a switch just around 2012 when we had written the Mass 5 album, because our bass player then was going to move to the UK, and he's a photographer as well, Martin, and he was going to move and continue his other passion, that is photography. So then we got a switch to Levi, and Levi joined us after the album was written, and he played with us from then on. So that was 2013, and so this is the first album he is actively written on. So that was a good thing to have that new wind of blowing through the writing process. The writing itself isn't as painful as waiting out the time for each of us to have the right reasons to write an album in Amen Ra. You have to have the right mindset to dig into an Amen Ra album, I think. You have to have the right matter to work with, and that always takes a while. The trajectory until the new album was written was hard and painful too sometimes. Who gave me the reason to start writing the album? For me personally, yes, I had one of my boys had a tumor in his head that needed to be removed, and that stuff is that is something that you struggle with as a father or as a human, and that for us is the ideal feeding ground of Amen Ra music and words, especially in my case. And the others had stuff happening to them as well. You had some parents had cancers, some of us lost a parent, stuff like that gave us the right reasons to start writing the new album. I don't really have a lot of fear. I have a lot of doubts, you know, if I'm doing the right thing, and if I'm doing the best that I can, and if I'm doing right towards my children and stuff, and my wife. But I don't really have fear. I don't know. But it was when he was sick and he needed to be operated and stuff, and there was a lot on the line. You question everything, and it's a weird place to be at, because you have a responsibility as a father, but it is a situation where you cannot do anything. You just have to wait it out, and you have to live with the situation. And moments like that in life are the ideal moments for Amen-Ra inspiration. The moments where you have an invisible enemy that, you know, throws a shadow over your existence, and you want to fight him, but you can't fight him. You have to learn and give him a place in your existence, in your life, and those are rather hard moments in life. But you need something to you know. I'm not a religious person, but that day, the day of the operation, I burned the candle. You know what I mean? I don't believe in that stuff, but I needed it then. So, and I asked a lot of people to burn a candle. It's something weird. I think it's only human to when you're desperate, you try to hold on to everything you see and hope that it could help. You know. So, yeah. It is mystical, and it is almost spiritual at times. You know, it's weird to try to analyze it, but there is something there that sometimes brings it to a level that I would think is more than just an audio experience, like listening to music. For me, the music does more than that. The music is it lifts upwards to something that is untouchable and undescribable sometimes. You know, when you get goosebumps, or you get tears to your eyes, or you get a shiver down your spine, that means you made something bigger than that, I think. It is the closest thing to religion that you can come to these days, I think, in our area. I think, you know, churches and stuff don't mean anything anymore, but music can still mean something to you. Music can still help you in a certain at a certain period in life or something. So it's a really incredibly interesting and powerful art medium. So it's really interesting, and I'm really thankful that I am able to work with it, and that is our instrument, you know. So it's really interesting times. We were 2 weeks in. It was a lot of snow then. It hasn't really snowed like that much for a long time in Belgium, and it was in the Belgian Ardennes, so it's always colder out there. And it was just when the biggest snowstorms were, so we were kind of caught. It was in a valley, so it was little. So we couldn't drive out with the cars, we just couldn't get out anymore, so we just stayed there. But it was cool. I mean, it added to the experience, and it added to us being there together, and because no one was able to leave anymore, and it was really good for the album, I'm sure. It is indeed a more magical place than our city would be, or, you know, you have the mist and in the morning, and yeah, the big fields of snow and the trees, and it was really beautiful. You looked out the window, and you know, you felt it was special, the moment, you know. So that's beautiful that it was the time to record an album, you know. Change something like approach for recording? Not really. We kind of had the same approach like last time, but it was good that we stayed together, all together, from day one till the last one. We didn't change approach. He is more a listener, and he just helps out. He's an engineer. He records. He's not really the producer that tells you what to do and how to change a riff and stuff like that. I think the bands he works with or to have too much of an identity to want to have someone mingling in it, you know. but he helps you be realistic about it, and sometimes we want to do more takes and we want to do better, and he says, you know, it's waiting good enough, you won't be able to do it better or whatever. So that was his task at hand. No, we've been around for 20 years, and I think it's the second time we have to cancel a show. But it's simply because I took my responsibilities as a father instead of a musician, a band thing. It's the same child needs to have a new operation, so it was pretty obvious for me just to take the quickest date possible for the hospital, and unfortunately, it was in that weekend. So, but I hope I will be able to make it up to the people who take it, who are not happy with it. But I'm sure we'll find a way to compensate at some time. We have 2 European tours planned for 2018, one American tour already, and then since we're in Central Europe and Belgium, we can fly out and drive out really quickly to different areas in Europe. So I'm pretty sure that the 2018 we'll try to play as much as we can, but it'll depend on what is possible with our families and where we are needed most. But that is the goal, to be on the road as much as possible. It also came pretty natural. I mean, for me, it is. I'm in my safe bubble when I'm turned around. I always see the same thing. Every show I play, I have the same thing before me. I have the drummer, I have the visuals, I have my colleagues and my friends next to me, and that's always the same. If I turn around, I have a lot more impulses. I have a lot more of information to take in, and as soon as I have to do that, I can't lose myself in the music anymore. I return to earth. So it's hard. So I try to minimalize the input from outside. That is one, and I also don't like how frontmen and singers take up all the attention in a live show. Everybody looks at the singer and they don't look at the rest anymore, while a singer is nothing without the music. And I think it was my way or our way to emphasize the importance of the whole. It is a group effort, and it is important for it to be visualized like that as well in a live show.